Good morning and welcome to the Coming of Age service.
Good morning. I'm Liam.
I'm AJ.
And we are two of the youth celebrating our coming of age this morning.
We have worked, played, and talked together.
We know each other and ourselves better than when we did when coming of age started.
This morning we share what we've learned with you.
We share our friendships with all of you.
Welcome to All Souls.
Where all souls are welcome.
You are joyfully called to worship.
Please rise in body and or in spirit and join your voices to sing Lean on Me. Am I loud on that?
On a gray, you can remain standing, that's fine. On a gray morning, there's nothing that brightens it up more than greeting one another. And let's begin by brightening the day of those in the online pews and wave to them. If you're visiting us for the first time in the online pews, please let us know in the chat so we can welcome you. And here in Unity Hall, if you are visiting for the first time and you're brave enough to just raise your hand so we can give you a special welcome. Hi, we see you. Hey, back there. Welcome. So, when we gather for coming of age, usually is about a half an hour of saying hi and checking in and having that joyful noise, so I expect nothing less from all of you here this morning. So let us make that noise now together.
We acknowledge the Nahantic, Mohegan, Mashantucket, Pequot, and Eastern Pequot people as the traditional caretakers of the land on which we worship. We honor and pay respect to these tribes, their ancestors, and their lineage, who today uphold traditional practices, art, and education.
Please join me in saying the chalice lighting words. We light this chalice as a symbol of the love we share with others and the love we give to the community. In giving love to the community, may we know that is offered to us in return.
We light the peace candle in honor of immigrant families who are being torn apart and who came to this country to try and improve their lives.
Our Unitarian Universalist Coming of Age program is a rite of passage in the same vein as a bar or bar mitzvah in Judaism or a confirmation in the Catholic or Christian faith. It ritualizes the time when a youth develops a greater understanding of their faith and takes a more significant ownership of their religious path. Differently from some other faiths, Unitarian Universalism does not ask the youth to profess a creed or adherence to a religious code. We ask our youth to delve into a deeper understanding of Unitarian Universalist history and theology, to then consider the big life questions and discern their own beliefs at this moment in time. Unitarian theologian James Luther Adams taught us that in liberal religion, revelation is continuous and ongoing, not sealed. So we know these young people will continue to grow and discern further. The same is true for all of us. We are all always coming of age. The beauty of our faith is recognizing this truth and allowing us authenticity in our religious life. This is a unique group of youth, and they pushed us to consider in new ways what it means to minister to youth who face the challenges of today's world and need the presence of trusted adults in the context of a supportive faith community. The youth found the courage to share who they are and consider who they are becoming because they were surrounded by a loving faith community full of adults who care about them. Today, we hold the meaning of the journey the coming-of-age youth have been on this year and the growth they have experienced. In their Sunday sessions with advisors Maria, Lexi, Patrick, and Travis, weekday evenings with Carolyn and me, day-long retreats, and a UU Heritage trip to Boston, they bonded with one another and became a group, not just 7 individuals showing up in the same room. They developed expectations of support and respect differently than they had before. In accepting challenges presented to them and working through difficult topics, even when they didn't want to, they came to know themselves better and how that intersects with the world around them. This is the essential purpose of coming of age, to empower youth to expand their vision, open their minds, and find what they hold most important in their hearts.
Manuel and AJ, come on up. The story for all ages this morning is one that we have shared before. It's a favorite about Marcel and Farfalina, two friends who each of whom go through their own transformation, their own growth and change, and what happens to each of them individually and to the two of them together in their friendship as they do. So we felt like this was the perfect story for coming of age. And this morning, Manuel and AJ will share the story with you.
The rain fell all morning. It splattered on the pond and splashed on Farfalina's leaf. She found a dry spot and started to eat it.
Hey, you're eating my umbrella.
Farfalina peered over the edge. A small gray bird was huddled underneath. I'm Farfalina.
My name is Marcel. The rain turned to a drizzle and Farfalina wanted to play.
I'll hide and you find me. Farfalina hid under a fern close to the ground because she knew that Marcel couldn't climb.
Now I'll hide, said Marcel when he found her. And he hid right behind the tree because he knew Farfalina moved slowly. I can take you for a ride on the pond, said Marcel.
Farfalina inched her way up Marcel's back.
Marcel slipped into the water.
Farfalina giggled. There's so much to see.
Farfalina and Marcel played together every day. They liked the same games and they liked each other. But one day, Farfalina was not herself. I'm not sick, she told Marcel, but I need to climb up on a branch and rest for a while.
I'll wait for you, Marcel called as Farfalina made her way up the tree. Marcel watched until Farfalina was completely out of sight, then settled himself into the grass and waited. Night came and then morning, but Farfalina didn't come down. Marcel called to her, but she didn't answer. He was worried and lonely. Weeks went by. The afternoons grew longer and warmer. Marcel went to the pond. He was growing, and when he looked at his reflection in the water, he hardly recognized himself. He went back to the tree every day to look for Farfalina, but she was never there. And after a while, he gave up.
At the top of the tree, Farfalina was snuggled in a blanket of glossy silk. She was growing too. The sky was blue and clear. The morning, she was ready to come out and open her beautiful new wings. She had no idea how long she had been up in that tree when she flowed down to find Marcel. When she didn't see him, she sat on the flower and said, I'll just wait. Night came and then morning, but Marcel wasn't there. Farfalina was confused. She fluttered around a bit and went to the pond. The pond was glossy smooth except the ripples made by a large, handsome goose who was swimming in solitary circles. Farfalina was disappointed. She went to the pond every day to look for a small gray bird named Marcel, but he never came.
One morning, the goose stopped his silent rounds, and spoke to her. You must like it here, he said.
I've been waiting for a friend, but I don't think he'll come.
I know how you feel, said Marcel. I lost a friend too. She just vanished into thin air. A ride around the pond might cheer you up.
Farfalina thought it would, so she settled herself on Marcel's back.
It's funny, Marcel said, but I feel as though I've known you for a long time.
I was just thinking the same thing. My name is Farfalina. What is yours?
Marcel stopped. He beat the water with his strong wings. It's me, Farfalina, he shouted. It's me, Marcel. Is that really you?
It is. They looked at each other and laughed.
By the evening, they had both explained everything, and they fell asleep smiling at the stars. They spent the summer playing just as they had before.
And when the leaves on the tree around the pond turned red and gold, they flew south. So ends the story.
So as we sing the children to their classrooms, we are reminded of the joy of transformation and the little bit of the confusion that it causes too. And so let us sing the K through 5th graders are leaving, and then the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders are staying in the sanctuary for the rest of the service, okay? All right, here we go. The highlight of the coming of age service is, of course, hearing from the young people who are coming of age today in this service. And so the first who we welcome to the pulpit is Manuel. Welcome, Manuel.
Now, while not everyone may have come to this class on their own, I know that everyone that had come to this class has learned something about themselves. That includes you too, teachers. Here are some things that I learned about myself despite my reluctance. Let's start with evil. Do I believe that there is a human evil? Not particularly. Evil depends on perspective. For example, one may think robbing a bank is evil, while another may find a way to justify it. Being able to justify what others may identify as evil may cause one to go down a dark path without even realizing that what they are doing is wrong. Another important perspective on evil is nature versus nurture. Some people may have been brought up to support others, while others grew up with or alongside self-centered people. While it's not bad to have some self-centeredness, children are often known to imitate behavior, and so if they are brought up around a bad influence, they may grow up to be like said influence. The hardest part is that after childhood, people tend to get stuck in their ways and think that just the other party is just wrong. So what can you do? There's not much you can do, but as a parent or teacher, you have to lead by example and not by just words. What can you do to make the world a better place? While there is never certainty one will follow the path you lay out for them, you do not need to be a parent or teacher to inspire others. The things you express can be, but do not need to be related to evil, nature, or nurture. You can express and teach anything you want. No matter what you teach, it will always be sustained better by example. It is important to remember that no matter the lessons or examples, if your teachings don't affect the people you wish to reach, to remember that they do reach somebody. If you ever feel beaten down on your beliefs, remember to try and understand where they are coming from. And no matter what, if you believe something is important, you should keep standing up for it. You continuing to stand up could also help someone else feel more secure in their beliefs, and not so alone. Just like how you would like someone to be there to back you up and lift you up. Keep going and treat others the way you want to be, because one way or another, it will come back to you. Some things you should also never allow to be beaten down are equity, mental health, and second chances. You never know what someone is capable of until you give them a second chance, or until you give them a chance, or even two. Giving others the chance to succeed can amaze you with what they can do. For example, giving someone who struggles with mental health issues someone to lean on. Persistence and staying with them can reveal how beautiful, smart, or even talented they may become over time. The problem is that people often don't give second chances. Can anyone here think of someone they should have given a second chance? May I please see a raise of hands? You see, everyone makes mistakes, big or small, and if you can, and most importantly, if it won't cause harm to you or the ones you love, giving someone the second chance and equity they need can grow a caterpillar into a butterfly. My point is to never give up on yourself, your beliefs, or even others, because often there is something beautiful underneath that has just been beaten down. It is your job to water and feed that poor beaten down flower. Even if that flower is not your own, you might want to try. This concludes my credo.
It's me. The mic picked that up, sorry.
Hello, my name is AJ. This credo was made from my experience here at All Souls and the beliefs I have on the actions and paths we take in life. Evil. Is there truly a human evil in the world? No, I believe people make their own decisions in life. Others may think what you are doing is evil and others may not. It all depends on the context and viewpoint. Survival and money, which could drive you to make bad decisions like stealing or robbing a bank. If someone threatens someone else, like someone else's life, a positive decision would be getting up and helping, and a negative decision would be standing there and doing nothing. You might not want to risk your own life, but you might get involved if you were the only one who could help. You want to help because of empathy. You might have more empathy if you've been in the same type of situation. Someone who's helping commit the crime might suddenly feel remorse if they think about what the victim is going through. This belief changes the way of thinking because of my actions comes effects that forge who I am today. For example, I let my dog Archer because no one else will do so, so I choose to help out where help is needed in my family and my dog. Does this make me a good person? No, that just makes me a person who makes positive choices in that situation. Another example is me and my brother fight a lot. This action affects my mom because she hates it when we fight. It doesn't just affect me in a bad way. It affects the people around me. Does this make me evil? Of course not. It just makes me a person who chooses to make a poor choice in life. When asked by Reverend Carolyn if there's a set path in life, my thoughts were something like this. I believe there's a predetermined path in life, but there are infinite. When I was writing this, I had two choices, do it or not. These were predetermined options, but I got to choose which path I took. After choosing, there are infinite more possibilities. What I mean by infinite more possibilities is if I chose not to do this, I would be standing here doing nothing at all. Or having a different possibility. But if I chose to do this, if I chose to write this, I could choose to read this to you or not. There are plenty more possibilities that may or may not lead to the same outcome. Some paths that you can take get the same result, but you might have different experience gained there. All of this makes me think about what would happen if I chose a certain path that leads to a specific outcome. Sometimes it makes me overthink because I wonder what would happen with each choice and the effects that they would have. I can pre-plan outcomes for myself. I can also help people with their struggles because I can help them see different paths to solving the problem and what the answer might be depending on the path they choose. I make a choice. I don't know how people would react, but I know how I would react and the effects that would have on me. Sometimes I think about the paths I can't control, but then focus on the parts I can. In lacrosse, I want to help a kid get better on the team, but he doesn't respect me enough to accept my help. It would hurt his pride to get from to get help from a freshman. I know I can't control his response, but I can control how I react to his. I get angry with him, but I don't act out of my anger. If you harm someone by making fun of them or spreading rumors about them, that can make a relation falter. If you help someone out of a situation like getting bad grades, learning better stick skills in lacrosse, that can help a relationship. If a person doesn't accept your help, they're choosing that path in the situation, but your reaction can affect the possibilities for the future. In lacrosse, if a player has a poor viewpoint upon me, it could affect how he accepts my help in the future. My friends in the coming of age are easygoing and accepting. They are also familiar with situations I go through. We tend to bring up a lot more personal stuff than friends at school because we've known each other for our entire church lives. This has been a lot of fun here at All Souls with my friends and family. Thank you, Carolyn and Perry, and all my other advisors for helping me along my way have a good life.
I chose how the community reflects on memories and hope for my credo. The people you choose to hang out with or the people that you're around shape the way you are. Friends is a great example of how community reflects on your memories and hope. If you have a lot of friends who would step in and care for you, and if you are in a place of need, that will reflect on how you recover and what choices you will make in the future. Whether it's a faster recovery or a slower but more comforting recovery, it will reflect on the outcome of who you are. An experience that I had was when I was one of the only ones in my class that flunked a test. My friends kept reassuring me that there would be other tests or other grades that would boost my grade from out of the following region. Sure enough, after a couple weeks, my grade was back up to where I wanted it. This outcome gave me more hope and a better memory about that test. That bad thing that puts you in a place of need still happens, but friends make it so it's more tolerable and has a better memory for your future self. The community at school is another great example on how community could shape memories or hope. School is a community, and it shapes you differently than how friends could shape you. School gets you ready for the future by implanting knowledge. The school also is where most people hang out with friends, so it ties up with how friends shape memories. Clubs, sports, and other extracurricular activities outside of the school day itself also shape you. By doing the things that you love, you save those experiences as memories, which once again shape you and the things you do. Either by giving you hope about life and the direction you go in, or just straight memories to reflect on in later times. The community could shape your memories and hope. Another way the community could shape memories and hope is just the environment you are surrounded by. You could live in a beat-up city with garbage spewed across the walkways and streets with potholes everywhere, having to worry about being robbed on every commute to or from school, work, or any place you go. That could impact your memories of being scared for your life, maybe by being more skeptical about friends, or more careful with what you do. But on the other side, you could live in a city or town that is super safe, not having to worry about the dangers of being robbed, so you might be less hesitant to jump into something, not thinking about how friends or people could harm you later. The environment of school could also be this way with different groups of friends, either bullying you or including you. Another example on how community could shape friend memories and hope is the All Souls congregation. All Souls could connect friends in the environment. In my class, we sometimes share major events that are happening in our lives. We often then get into a very cheerful mood, once again, not removing the major thing that happened in your life, but making the situation more memorable. The All Souls congregation could also be environmentally related because the atmosphere of the congregation is very pleasant. In conclusion, the community has a big impact on memories and hope. Whether it's in school, at work, someplace else, in a bad environment or in a good environment, it always has an impact. Thank you for listening to my credo.
Hey, my name is Frank, and you probably know why I'm here. I'm doing my credo on community, focusing more on my important values in a friend. I want to share these main values: trustworthiness, being funny, and helpful. Those are all important to me in a different way. Having a trustworthy friend is important because everyone needs someone to talk to sometimes, but I don't want my friends spreading what I tell them throughout the school. A funny friend is important to me because it always helps to have a friend to make you laugh when you're feeling down. They can also help make light of a hard situation, like a math test that everyone struggled with. A helpful friend is always nice, whether they help me fix my bike, fix my computer, schoolwork, or even just with good advice. I also wanted to talk about what those values mean to my actions as well. I want to be a good friend. I want to be as good of a friend as my friends are to me. I want to be a trustworthy person because if someone comes to me with something, I can help them out with it. And then I also want to be a funny person because there's few things better than the feeling of knowing that you brighten someone's day. I want to be a helpful friend because I don't want to ever see one of my friends be upset or suffer over something, so if I can help, I want to try. Another topic that I'm going to talk about is why my group of friends, my community, if you will, is important to me. Each one of them has done something significant in my life to help me better myself. I'm only going to talk about one of my main friends because if I talked about all 6, we'd be here for quite a bit. The one I will talk about is my friend Walter, who has done significant things to alter my thinking or attitude about something. He taught me about being less egotistical and more humble and just nicer to be around, really. He also helped show me that being myself is more important than trying to be what others want me to be. I think a community or a group like mine is important. A group of close friends is quite important because it prevents a feeling of loneliness, because you always have someone to talk to in at least one person of the group. The last reason that I'll say on this topic is that it's like a crew, and if someone feels down in the group, the others will help them out. And that's it for my credo. Thanks for listening. Before we move on to the rest of the credos, please rise in body and/or in spirit to sing "Come Sing a Song with Me."
Hello, my name is Dallas, and I'm a trans male. And I'd like to share with you all my beliefs, such as what happens after death. Now, with a raise of hand, how many people here have lost a loved one? Okay. Right. I've had a close encounter with losing someone, and I think that's the main reason why I believe what I believe in. Many people say that once a person dies, that they're gone forever, but I disagree. I think that once someone dies, that they're reincarnated into another person in your life. They could be your daughter or a new pet. Their soul's finding a way back into your life. Not the same, but still there, as there can't be infinite souls. I think they are reused for a new life every time, leaving a ghost behind as a reminder of their life. Many people say that believing in reincarnation and ghosts at the same time is impossible, but to be honest, I think both are real at the same time. Ghosts are the remnants of the person you once knew, while the soul detaches from the ghost to make a new living being, leaving who they grew up to be so they can always watch over you and protect you. Ghost and reincarnation are connected, and it's a close connection. After all, you may lose one person in your life, but always gain another with the same soul to be raised once more, as all is connected. Maybe this time they will be completely different. After all, it depends how they were raised to know if they're good or evil. A person is never truly evil, in my opinion. Everyone deserves love and support. It really depends on how they were raised, because everyone is good underneath. Evil people aren't born, they're made. But we also need a balance between good and evil. That's why it exists in some people, even though they may have had a great childhood. But that's why everyone should value their lives and live the best. We should always do our best to raise a good person rather than quote evil, as everything happens for a reason. To keep life in check with invisible bounces. After all, it's all connected to a web of existence, to be exact, where everything happens for a reason, as the web unfolds of your life, and it connects to other lives too, as every last thing is connected in a way, like how karma exists. I believe in karma, as all is connected and everything will happen for a reason in your life. Even though it may not seem to be connected, I do good deeds, good comes back to me, and I try not to do bad deeds, because bad will come back to me. It's as simple as that. That's why I like to try and help people when I can, such as when I see someone sitting alone, I go and sit with them. Many people say that life already has a set path out for them, but I think that the path unfolds as you make decisions, and those decisions will have an effect in the future. So I live my life with freedom, but not too reckless, because something will come back to me for that. But don't worry, because it doesn't make anyone bad, only adventurous. So I watch how I act and take care, being part of a community, helping others out when possible. Even though people don't want to intrude on other people's lives, it's better to ask and be wrong than not ask if someone needs help. People who need help are often too scared or embarrassed to ask for help. So you need to offer first, improve some lives. So overall, this experience here made me more aware of what I already knew, and it solidified my ideas. And thank you for listening. This concludes my credo.
Hi, I am Mateo. I like to see people happy. I would never want someone to be sad. So being good to others is one step closer to seeing more people being happy. Why not be kind to people? It's not hard. Good is a vague thing, but it is anything that is not negatively affecting other people, as well as things that could positively affect other people. Letting someone borrow something such as money, helping someone with work, making fun of someone or stealing something, that's not good. And I don't want anyone to do those things to me, so I'm not going to do those things to other people. If I see something unfair happening to a friend, I try to intervene or stop it. If you care for someone, if you have empathy for that person, you're going to support them in whatever they need. In coming of age, it's good to be around good people. I've learned about other people and their different thought processes and different views of the world. It's good to be part of a community with somewhat the same ideas and values. There is no inert meaning of life. Because of that, we each need to make our own meaning. I believe that being happy is enough of a reason to keep going. We should just focus on enjoying life. I also think we should just focus on making other people's lives better, helping other people and caring for them. As long as you're not negatively affecting other people, you can do whatever you want. Life is your choice. Unfortunately, life is very unfair, but make the best of it. Lots of dreams might just be possible, but others might be impossible. So shoot big or shoot small, but whatever you do, just do what you want and do your best. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Liam. My foundational beliefs have changed a lot since I was younger, and coming to All Souls has helped that. However, my core self has stayed the same since I was young, but I know that that may change at least a little bit as I get older. As I grow, I hope to stay with All Souls to be able to express my beliefs more and hone them into something I will not change and truly have them as my foundation. I believe that life is the most sacred thing there is on earth. This is because I believe that we should live life to the fullest and cherish it on earth. I know that probably a few of you don't believe in an afterlife, for I don't either. Life is short, though it may not seem like it. It's so short to the point that we should not wait for a quote-unquote heaven or any afterlife, but make our own heaven here on earth. Some people live their lives either dwelling on the past or thinking about the future, and sometimes both. Some people that are religious will only think about the future and their lives so that they can go to whatever afterlife they believe in. I believe that we should not dwell on the past or the future, but be here in the now and in the present. Being in the present is one of the best things you can do to appreciate and cherish life for what it is. Because if you do focus on the past and the future, you'll miss out on what's happening around you. It's important to remember that the past is gone and the future is uncertain, but the here and now is real. I choose to be present in life to savor and appreciate everything around me. You shouldn't waste your days waiting for something more to come along. You should embrace what is here now before you. I have to admit, I thought it would take up my whole day to write this part of my credo about these deep topics. What I believe about spiritual practices is that kindness in itself is a spiritual practice. I think it is a sacred act when you do something kind for another person, for with kind actions, you can create love and bring happiness to others. Every kind act that you do ripples outward, helping to shape the world in ways you may never see, but you can trust your efforts matter. Although some people will reject kindness or not accept it, you should still have kindness and have kindness for others. When they don't accept your kind actions, do not feel bad or sad about it, but be happy that you tried to do something nice for someone and hope that what you tried to do brought joy to someone, because kindness will always be able to spread to everyone no matter who they are. Death is a delicate topic, and this is because to some it's hard to talk about, but it's something that must be talked about. Once again, I know a few of you don't believe in an afterlife, and if you don't, I invite you to please raise your hand. Now, what I thoroughly believe about death is that it is one long dirt nap. And I know putting it like that seems a bit harsh, and you're right, it is. Death to me is peace after a really long party, and that party is the heaven we made on earth. Death is something that cannot be avoided. It's the most inevitable thing in life except for taxes. But because of this, we must cherish every moment, every second, every minute, every hour, every day, and every year. And when the time comes for us to die, you can look back on your life and say, wow, I did all that? Thank you for listening.
How about these 7 youth? Stand up and see. I think what you all probably heard as a theme in all 7 of these credos was a commitment to be kind. And in a world, sadly, that is increasingly unkind, I'm grateful to hear that, that commitment come through so clearly in all of your credos. And so I hope you go into this world and into your life, knowing that you will always have this community here for you. As Perry said, a community of adults in this case, but soon you will join all of the community as adults yourselves to support others. It is a really important piece of your religious and spiritual life. I love, Liam, that you said kindness is a spiritual practice, right? Indeed it is. And so I hope you will all keep practicing because, as you said, Mateo, it's not hard to be kind, right? All right, we've come to the, are you here because you think you're doing the offering or I'm doing it?
Collecting the baskets.
Oh, good, right. Okay, just checking in with Perry momentarily. We are now at the part of our service where we take up an offering, your support, our collective support to support this congregation and the ministries that we share. I also want to share at this point of giving that there is a gift for each of the youth that will be given to them on behalf of all of you. And that is, this is a group, as you have heard, who take their friendships with each other very seriously. And so their gift is going to be an experience together. We're going to go to Buttonwood Farm for ice cream. So let us speak these words together as we take up the offering. We give to the work of all souls. Our work weaves the fabric of love called community. To this end, we dedicate ourselves and this our offering. The offering will be gratefully received. That you have sacrificed. Thank you so very much. Thank you. We will continue our service by joining our voices once again in singing Here We Have Gathered. It's number 360. If you're following along, I invite you to rise in body and or in spirit.
Our worship has ended, but our service is not yet done. May our spirits be renewed.
Can you advance the slide, please?
Say please.
Oh, is it not there? Is that slide up there for extinguishing the chalice?
No.
No. All right, so Andrew, it's up to you.
Do I still read this?
No, just read it.
Here we go. We'll see who remembers. Here we go.
Our worship has ended, but our service is not yet done. May our spirits be renewed and our purpose be resolved as we meet the challenges of the week. Our chalice flame is extinguished till once again ignited by the strength of our communion.
Nailed it.
I invite you to remain standing. If you're in the online pews, I invite you to put a hand on your heart and reach out to the community. And if you're here in Unity Hall, to reach out to the world beyond us. It's funny, but I feel as though I've known you for a long time. But you've changed. And we have all been changed in some way by you. And may those changes, small and great, enable each of us to know better who we are and what we are called to do in a world that needs our presence. A world that needs our resistance, our peacemaking, and our kindness. Let us all do good work until we return again to this sanctuary, a place of rest, joy, and rejuvenation. Go in peace and with a youthful spirit. Amen. Please remain.
A good choice for a postlude. Thank you. AJ especially. Thank you. All right, couple things to know before you go. First of all, there is cake to celebrate coming of age, so I hope that you will grab a piece of cake, but also take time to approach one or all of the youth to congratulate them on their coming of age. And that in a nutshell is what the past couple of months have been like. All right. If you're new to All Souls, I know there's a couple of folks who are here for the first time. Peggy is over at the welcome table. She will tell you more about All Souls and Unitarian Universalism. Today, there are a couple of adult faith formation programs happening. Social Justice and Science Fiction is meeting in the Vail Library. And Everyday Spiritual Practice, Simple Pathways for Enriching Your Life. This is a new group. If you're interested in talking with other souls about spiritual practices, Steve Batt brought this to the table. We're so happy that you did, Steve. You will be meeting in the Ackerman room, okay? Tuesday the 10th, there's going to be, so that's, is that this Tuesday or next? It is. Tuesday is not the, all right, when is this happening? Because this is wrong. When is it happening? Who knows? It is the Advanced Care Planning at 2 p.m. in the community room. It's Thursday, okay? Thursday, April. Oh, for goodness sake. All right, forget it. Let go of that. We were just saying how smoothly this service went. Right? Here we go. Friday Night Folk is this coming Friday, which is the 11th, and Guy Davis is a blues singer, so if you're singing the blues like so many are, this might be a good concert to catch. You can get tickets on Humanitix or call the office, and Tammy will reserve a seat for you. It's time to order Easter flowers. The order forms are on the welcome table. You can do that. And if you would like to volunteer for the tag sale, and I really hope that you do want to volunteer for the tag sale, Susan and Janet are tabling in the hallway, and they can talk with you about those opportunities. I want to hold up what an important day yesterday was. And I want to hold up Claire Avento's Herculean efforts in organizing, as well as Bonnie Sullivan and Lori Gorham. Lori is a good friend of this congregation, as well as others. And then I want to ask, how many of you took to the streets yesterday? I will tell you that yesterday was like going to church. Everywhere I looked, I saw a member of this congregation. All Souls shows up. And I want to thank you for showing up in all of the ways that you did yesterday. It was a good and important day that I hope bolstered your sense of hope in this very critical moment in our country. So, but today, now is for the feast, now is for celebration. Are you waving at me, Joyce? Ah, yeah, in Norwich, yes. Yeah. In New London and Norwich, East Lyme, I heard, had Niantic, Mystic. It was a good day. It was a really good day.
I would like to mention there were like 2 or 3 congregations out there with people.
Yes.
Not just one.
No, I know. There were like 2 or 3. You mean as many people as there were there?
I mean about 2 or 3 congregations out there that day.
Yes. There were over 1,000 people there yesterday. It was a really good day. All right. So today now is for feast families. It's time to celebrate you too. Hooray! We're so happy you're here. Let us celebrate. Yes, Janet, do you have something else? Okay. All right. Goodbye, those in the online pews.